And so understanding, you know, the scripture talks about it in Luke 6:37, it says, then give. Right? See, the problem is, until you be able to extend outside yourself, right? The reason why you're not forgiving yourself is because you are holding hostage because you're focusing on yourself too much. And you're being yourself, you're being your own victim. And that's actually selfishness. See, forgiveness requires you to be selfless. Think about it. Think about the word forgive. For means to put in action. Right? Give means to talk about putting yourself to become a source. So when you're forgiving, you're making yourself become a source to a certain action. I'm making myself to become a source to reverse a situation, to diffuse a situation, to release a situation. You follow what I'm saying? That's what it says. Do not judge according to judge, right? I got to become a source. So I stay inside the canopy of my own judgment. I can't switch and become a source to my own problem. Right? So what's cloudness from love? What's cloudness? What's the expectation? What's the hurts that we keep having inside ourselves? All right? Number 4. Is this good?
Yes.
Now, number 4 is, how many of us is yellow on number 4? I'm asking again, because some people hesitated like you know what? It's all good. Number 4, who all has yellow in number 4? Who has red in number 4? Okay. Number 4 is, you got a question? Oh, you're right on the line. She's on the borderline. So we say yellow. Just depends. You like Michael Jackson did the thing, you know. 4 is self-deception. Right? What do we know that is true, but we spend time convincing ourselves that it's not true? Self-deception. Right? And one of the hardest things to get people to realize is their own self-deception. Why? Like I said last week, because we believe it. Right? Y'all with me on this?
Yes. Yeah.
So what fuels, understand, belief has to be fueled and assisted. So when we talk about there's a belief there's some type of acceptance there. That means you're accepting the knowledge that's related to that self-deception. You're accepting it. Is that making sense?
I have a question.
Yes.
So is there a way that the self-deception, you talked about, there's a view of yourself that is being fed by something. And then we take it back to the one where you talked about hurt and to remove anybody that's in your realm that could be causing you hurt. Is the reason why you're so self-deceived is because you keep those people in your circle?
It fuels it, it can. Okay. Yep. And I'm glad you asked that question. Another aspect that fuels that belief is trust. Right? Whether it's healthy or not, there's a trust there. There's a dependency there. Right? So that knowledge you have, or that practice that you've been doing, you trust in it. The question is, what results are you expecting from it? Because you're doing it because you think there's some type of perceived reward from it. 10 minutes. Is that making sense?
Yes.
Say it again. The self-deception piece. It's the truth that you know exists, but you're convincing yourself out of that truth. All right? So we talked about there's an acceptance, there's a trust, then there's a reliance. You're relying on that type of information that's assisting that self-deception. Right?
Yeah.
You're relying upon it. Then there's some type of assurance. You hold on to something, there's some type of reward inside that thing that keeps that self-deception sitting there existing. Right? So we're accepting it. Somehow we're trusting in it. We're relying upon it. Right? And we have some type of assurance in relation to it. All right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So then we get to number 5. Number 5 is disappointments. Who's all yellow and red there? Right? Now, I know it's likely for expectations, so a lot of times the expectation and disappointment are probably right there connected. Right?
I'm at 35.
You have what?
35.
You graphed at 35?
Yeah.
So basically you're borderline on the red, right? Okay? So in your area of unforgiveness for you right now, that's where your battle is at. Your disappointments. You know, things in your past disappoint you over and over again, right? So that's where you got to kind of bring yourself to a place to have a desire to be able to forgive and begin to work through that thing. Okay? We can't really get into it today, but that goes along with the whole continual process of being able to overlook. Are you willing to overlook that situation? Think about it. You see, pause everybody. Everybody heard what he said?
Yeah.
I don't know what.
It depends.
I don't know what.
It depends.
Right? So that's where he
Situational.
stands right now. So it's situational. It's conditional. All right? Are you ready to surrender or relinquish your position on how you feel about it? You don't know. Are you willing to try to see eye to eye with that person in conciliation? I don't know. You see what I'm saying? So my man right now is blocked for an aspect of love for him to experience what he needs. Last week you said trying to understand, know God, right? So right now, part of you trying to know and understand God is you got to get around what? The disappointment. God's hiding behind your disappointment. He ain't with nowhere, He's here. But your heart, in this area right here, that's the part that's blocking in the way. And the more open you begin to work on that, be able to overlook and surrender, we'll get into that, next week or whatever, the more you'll be able to experience God. You know what I'm saying? Is it making sense? Yeah, I'm a good thinker, man. You know what I'm saying? All right? Now, number 6 is offenses. Who all has yellow and red in those areas? It's all right. Just 3. Right? Someone who has crossed you, right? I'm expecting someone. Here's the thing about some expectations we have on people. Have they ever met the expectation?
No.
No.
More likely no, right?
No.
But guess what? We still have the expectation.
Yep.
And who's holding the bag of offense?
I am. Because if I'm the one doing it, I'm the one.
Because you're the one that do it right. So you're holding the bag, right? That person already proved, like, yo, I can't reach it. I fail every time, right? Well, a man is supposed to da 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 da. Right? Now hold on. You chose to be with the man.
Right.
He's never done it before.
Right. Probably never will. That's right.
He get it right next week, though.
Right? Right? He ain't never done it.
Nope, he probably never
But
will.
you still stay offended. Right? The girl, man, she's tripping. She always been tripping. Right? She ain't changed. Right? What did Maya Angelou say? If someone show you themselves, what?
Believe them.
Right? But why are we still dancing inside of our offenses? Insanity. Right?
The same thing
Over and over and over again.
Different result.
And that's what happens. We keep going around that whole mountain.
Yep.
He said just flow and extend it.
He just told me to
It's
wrap
all right
it
there?
up.
Okay. On the whole thing right there. Okay. So, the whole thing keep going around the mountain over and over again. Right? The interesting thing, one thing forgiveness do is what? Reverse.
Yeah.
So like you're pointing out, Bishop, if you keep going around the same thing over and over again, the thing that's hindering you is forgiveness. Right? So number 7. Desire. Who's the yellow and red there? Desire revenge. That desire revenge. Right? You want them to feel the exact same pain that you feel.
Sure enough.
Right? But here's the truth. They will never feel the exact same pain that you feel.
No, they won't. That's true.
Right? But you will continue to invest your energy, your time,
Yep.
right? Someone's even praying against that person.
Yep. That's
So that they can feel
Yep.
that revenge. Scripture says what? Vengeance is what? Mine.
Saith the Lord.
Give wrath for what? Make room for the evil, right? Create room. We try to step in the way.
Yep.
Right? We try to step in the way. Right?
That's right.
Because you want to see them suffer. That's an issue with yourself. Right?
Yep.
Love rejoices in truth. Love don't expect what? No evil. But that's evil in your heart. Desire some revenge, right?
Yep.
And we're not feeling the presence of God. Because we're sitting at the altar with a desire to see someone to experience a revenge on our stead. And some of us are sitting here in prayer asking God to go punish them.
Oh, mercy.
Here's the humor. God's like, I forgave him.
That's right. That's right. Come on now.
Some of them run around like, karma. And they cool. And you still dancing with your desire of revenge.
Yep. Pretty much. That's what it is.
Make yourself sick. So here we go. Let me give you some real findings which I think about this, and we'll close, and we'll hit this next week. On page 7 right here. Remember last time we talking about when you have unforgiveness, it changes your point of view, right? It changes what you attract. I know I lost stuff that was here last week. What page is that on?
Only got page 6.
On page 2, you have this part right here.
That's it.
But still stay on page 7 real fast.
Only got 6.
You only got 6.
Only got 6.
I only have 6.
Oh, okay. You look right here, you have consumption, attraction, point of view, and decision. Unforgiveness is fueled by those things. All right? On this right here, I should be seeing this right here. All right? Everybody needs to sit here and spend time, because now everybody in here identified their source of unforgiveness, right? Okay? You follow what I'm saying? So we go home or whatever, You begin to just go through this thing and just fill out between you and yourself. And you got to ask yourself, what am I consuming? In the area of forgiveness, what are you consuming? What are you entertaining? Right? Yeah, your yellows and reds. Yes, sir. Thank you for bringing that out. And your yellows and reds. What am I consuming? Right? Look at where your treasure is. That's what?
Your heart is.
Your heart is.
So you can't get out your unforgiveness if you can't identify your treasure. What's that thing that you keep feeding on to keep it there? And so earlier we talked about, hey, there's people that's giving us news that keep us in our hurt. That's consumption. You got to change it. Okay? Then you have attraction. What are you attracting? You know what I'm saying? What am I attracting? In that forgiveness. In that area of unforgiveness, what am I attracting?
Unforgiveness.
Right? You know the scenario that you're dealing with. You think about what am I attracting that's related in that area of unforgiveness. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
What was your quote about attraction? You said it a couple times and I still haven't gotten it.
I don't know, I'm just flowing. That'll come back to me.
Okay. You said something about the something that we attract, and I put we attract.
According to how you judge,
Maybe, yes.
so according to how you judge, you're going to attract that same judgment
That's
to you.
it. That's it.
How you condemn, you're going to attract the same condemnation to you. Okay? All right, so we're going to write this down. So also your point of view. How do you see it? Right? What's your outlook in the situation? What's your perception? The thing about it is you have unforgiveness is clouding your eyesight. It's clouding how you perceive it. You're seeing through the lens of an illusion. And so what happens is you're making decisions aligned with that perception. And you're attracting aligned with that perception. And you're consuming things in line with that perception. Right? Take the mote out of what?
Your own eye.
Your own eye. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then you also, I want you to sit down and ask yourself, what decisions am I making from the result of that unforgiveness?
That's right.
What decisions that I'm making in that area of unforgiveness? In my hurts, that issue that I'm hurt with, what decisions am I making in relation to that hurt? Think about that. We'll bring it back next week.
All right.
All right?